Rightio guys, so welcome to another episode of the Gunman, and we've got Shijun in the booth here again. So today is going to be the first time that we let him do a full respray, so careful with that, you get dust on it. Yeah, so he's done quite a lot of paint work on these, but generally what he's been doing is bonnets, tailgates and bumpers. So we're gradually working his way up to this, and this is the first time. So we're going to be turning the camera off and on. We'll be in and out of the booth doing the various different stages, but I thought I'd give you a quick look at this job before we do get any color on. So we've obviously prepped it up, filled up any of the chips or anything like that, basically just deglossed the panels. So yeah, just a quick scuff down, say 320 grit and then 400 on the edges, and done the masking. So sometimes when you do your false edge masking, it does sort of want to flip back. So that's what you can see I've done here. You just you put a bit of mask in there and it lifts it back up, and it generally creates a bit of a memory there for it, so it'll stay in that correct spot. But as you can see, nice neat masking. It's all been prep sold. He's going to tack rag it 2 times, go over the entire thing 2 times, and then put a coat of wet on wet primer down. So this is the gun that he's using at the moment. So that's actually a gun I recommended to him. That's a 1.3 GPG. Now this is the equivalent to the old GPI, but they did do a rebranding. It actually made it more confusing when they rebranded it, because they've got like 3 or 4 different guns that are under that same umbrella, GPG. I believe the GPG stands for general purpose gun. But yes, they do have the 1.3, 1.4, 1.6 and 1.8. I'm pretty sure that's what it's in, but he's actually got one of these for primer, so 1.8 for primer and 1.3 for wet on wet primer, and then he's got his DV1 clear and base coat gun. So I might even let him use my starter. He's a big fan of the Starter CC gun. He loves that one. So yeah, that's about it. I've told him when I'm not going to be here for every stage. Like he's got a lot of experience doing the procedure. So I always do the candy, and I will be doing the candy on this. It's just too application critical. Yeah, for the ramifications is potentially redoing the entire car. Yeah, it's too much. But what I have told him, anywhere where we've got these edges that are seen, right, anywhere you can see these edges, I've told him to sort of spray the primer like that. So don't spray the edges, don't even spray forward, because then that primer can sort of creep inside there. But I've found as long as you go like that, and even when you get to here, just sort of angle that gun up like that. So as you can see, he's giving it a really good tack rag down. He's got his nice new spray suit on. And the doors are set up here. So we're lucky to be in such a nice sized spray booth. We actually have a fly in here. So what I'm going to do there is flick the lights off for a minute. The best way to get rid of a fly in your spray booth, turn the lights off, open the doors up for a minute, and they'll generally leave, because yeah, they're attracted to the light. But yeah, we're lucky to have such a big spray booth. As you can see, that's another thing that's worth noting, is having a look at the way that we've set these doors up. Rather than having them up against the walls, you make a mess on your spray booth walls, and yeah, more stuff potentially coming back onto the doors as well. We've been getting some really clean results lately, so hopefully Shijun's able to get that too. But yeah, that's it. And the other side of it is that you're using the spray booth the way it's meant to work. It's meant to work with you painting in the middle, and then the overspray sort of goes up and then back down. But in saying that, these low bakes are a little bit slower on the removal of the overspray than some of the other booths I've used. But in saying that, I still do love the low bakes. Alright, so what I like to do is pick a spot, and then that is your start spot. So whether or not it's yeah, maybe start at the guard, right? Do the guard, and then come up, do this pillar here, do your quarter panel quickly, do the roof, and then come back over to the doors, start on one of the doors, and then that's the way you're gonna do it every time, okay? So whether or not it's wet on wet, it's clear coat or color, you start here, and then you finish at the same spot. So yeah, start here, 1, and then you can do here, and then the roof. But just remember what I told you, when you're spraying here, keep the gun like that, right? Same here. keep the gun more like that, you know, so you really don't want it inside because you don't want the primer in there. Same with the color, okay, but with the color we do first coat, right? We do only the faces on the first coat with color, but on the second coat we give a very we go faces and a quick one over, but only a quick one. You don't want too much, just to hide any of that primer that may be in there. And yeah, same thing, third coat, only the faces, okay? Yeah, so grab the gun and let's go. Two bar? Oh yeah, that gauge is wrong, isn't it? So you got to open that one. Whenever you're using a gauge, you've always got to have that fully open, or else that's not going to be accurate. But that one is actually wrong. That's wrong. That's actually out. Yeah, just go up to 40. 40? Yeah, I think it's way out. We did calibrate it one time. I think 40 is 30. Yeah, just go that. Yeah, I gave him that as a freebie, but you know, it's kind of half broken. Good. Maybe just a little bit more. Just see down here, you missed it. Just slow down a bit. You don't yeah, you don't have to be in a hurry. That's it. Yep, perfect. That's enough, perfect, good. I like to go, right? I like to start here and then work your way across, okay? Because it can start to dry in the middle, because primer dries very fast. So you start here and then you work your way and then you come over the other side and you work, because it can, you need to keep the edge wet. You know what I mean? So you're chasing that wet edge. No edges, no edges, no edges. Remember, no edges. No, faces only. You don't even need to paint from that edge. Yeah, just do your pillar first. Pillar. Remember, holding it down like that. Holding your gun on the angle like that, remember? Angle the gunman, like this. Yeah, yeah, look. You wanna go like this, right? See that? And then we get no primer inside here. That's it. Perfect. That's good. Nah, because you gotta keep that wet edge. Gotta watch that tummy. Remember the angle? Angle of the gun, remember? Remember to angle it down, yep. That looks pretty good, yeah? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget the petrol flap. No, you do everything, yep. That looks pretty good. I did notice he was kind of a little bit sort of turning it into a banana shape towards the end. Like his passes are kind of, yeah, like that. But you know, I think that's one of those things. My philosophy is most of the learning you're gonna do is by yourself, and that sort of proved to be true when we were doing the bonnets and boot lids. Like, he actually, the quality of his work increased massively when I just left him alone. So yeah, I think part of it is when somebody's watching you, you sort of might be worrying if you're doing the wrong thing, but when you're in there, it's like sink or swim, you know. And the quality of the work. So he's gone a touch dry over there too. You can tell because it's drying so fast. But it's fine. That's fine for wet on wet. See, that's what I mean. He's seems to be a bit more relaxed now. He's got that good, even sort of pattern. He's not going up and down or anything like that. And I think that's just going to come with experience and practice. Like, I don't need to be there telling him to do that. He obviously instinctively knows that you're meant to spray straight. So when he accidentally sort of goes like that, I think it's just, you don't have to be there to, oh man, you're doing it wrong, give me the gun. I mean, I did take it off him that one because he didn't quite seem to get what I meant by angling the gun up. But as you can see here, it is a very important thing, because the last thing you want up under there is this grey primer, and then your candy and your color doesn't follow it, and then when you go to unmask it, because this is a visible edge, when the car's finished and all unmasked, all these edges are visible. Well, there's some that are more important than others. Obviously here and here you don't see, but all these kind of things you definitely do. So yeah, it really doesn't take long in between coats, especially when we've got the boost set up to 30 degrees. So we put the primer on at 21 degrees, 20 or 21 degrees, that's Celsius, you American viewers. But yeah, we crank it up to 30 as soon as you get that primer down, crank it up to 30, and it takes, no time to dry. Yeah, so that's right to go. You know what to do, he knows what to do now. 20 PSI. Another thing we like to do is just make sure that there's no nibs in this primer stage. If there's any big ones, we'll definitely get them out, depending on where they are. Yeah, it's more critical sort of up the tops of the doors, up the tops of the guards, and on those sort of camp rails or those pillars. We'll definitely get rid of them. And that's pretty much exactly how we're meant to do it. If anything, I'd probably keep it a little bit more like this, so a little bit drier. It's gone a touch heavy in some spots, but you get that on the big jobs. Yeah, it's just, I've found with this stuff, you're just better off going sort of medium to wet coats. It just dries a lot faster. We've gone 25% reducer in it as well, which is more than what PPG Australia actually recommends. Gotta be careful of those heavy spots, but again, I don't need to be here to sort of tell him off. No doubt he would sort of know that that's the wrong thing to do. He's doing that sort of that curvy pattern again. I'll tell him. You missed a little bit here. See in the middle? Up the front? I guess that's the stretch. In there, just up the front. Yeah, that's it. Yep. So if he sets his gun up the same as I do, he'll have it on 20 PSI, full fan, full fluid, DV1 1.3 base coat gun, piece of piss. Yeah, like I say, it's probably gone just a touch heavy just on that little one spot here, but we'll figure that out in the second coat. The rest of it looks pretty good. It's actually looking pretty clean at this stage too. I've actually found most of the dust comes off the job itself. Some of it can come off of you. Most of it shouldn't be too airborne, because we do have, a boot that's only 6 or so months old, so shouldn't be the booth itself. But as you can see here, drying nice and fast. See, that's nearly ready for the second coat straight away. A lot of the time it's just a quick 2-minute wait between coats. If that, by the time you go out, pop the gun up, you're generally right to pretty much go. But yeah, he may have gone just a touch heavier than I go. Yeah, he's definitely gone a bit heavier on this side. I'm gonna have to tell him that's a bit too wet. Definitely too wet over here. Yeah, I did tell him to ease up a bit. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit too wet. So yeah, generally first coat faces, second coat faces and edges. However, I did see him doing some of his edges, maybe just out of habit. That's better. Good, good. Keep doing that for the whole car. So yeah, we just sort of had a timeout. Maybe keep this, unravel that one so it doesn't flick up onto the panel. But yeah, we gave it a few minutes, just a 2-minute breather out there. And that's nice and dry. So this next coat, we'll have to go a little bit drier, like yeah, not quite as wet. But even in saying all that, that's actually looking pretty even. There's no real muscle to speak of. That's another one you do have to be careful of. You can drop bits of dust in your paintwork from the airline. It was happening. That was one of the things that was happening to me without actually quite realizing. Maybe just give it a quick wipe off. Just a wipe off. Yeah, just around here. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Just a bit that hangs over the panel. Like what you can do is you can wind the fluid in. I'll just make sure he's doing it okay and then I'll leave it. Just make sure he's not going on too wet. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Good. Yeah, he's got it. And then I'm gonna go out and get the get this candy all mixed up and ready to go. Get that in the gun. I prefer to do my clear coating with air-fed respirator, but of course when I'm in there watching him and training him, I do just have to wear my half mask. He's one with the airline, so that's okay. I don't do that very often, and like I say, going forward, it's just going to be a case of tell me if you've got an issue. I'll watch him for the first one, and then you're kind of on your own. And it comes down to, I reckon, it's on you to ask the right questions of your tradesman or of the person that you're working alongside. Alright, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick look over that. So that's all the base coat down, 3 coats. He's done quite well and it's looking really clean. Like, so there's no big chunkers in it, which you do sometimes get, but I did get him to tack rag over it twice using the microfibers. That also helps. Anyway, let's get this air-fed respirator on and then get this candy down. First coat, only on the faces. No edges on the first coat. I found 1 coat is all you really need of the candy on the edges. Rightio guys, so that's it after 2 coats of candy, and as you saw, I was the one that did put the candy down, but it's looking really clean. We're not going to have to denib that at all. We'll just give it a 10-minute bake and then mix up some 136 clear, because the 136 clear is a lot more forgiving for Shijun. The 105 clear, which I usually use, is very prone to getting runs and potentially even solvent foil on the roof, the flat panels, but yeah, 136 will be perfect for him. Not my favorite clear, but it'll do the job. Looking good. Rightio, so like I said, we just gave it a quick 10-minute bake just to sort of release the gases out of the candy coat. So that should be nice and flashed off. Yep, there you go. Dry to the touch. He knows what to do. So first coat only on the faces, yeah? No edges. That's good. Look, that's good. Nice tight finish. That's what you want. There we go, Instagram. So after last week's effort on that little black Mazda, I've decided to give Shijun a go on a full respray. So I did actually do the candy myself on this job here. So we've got him with the DV1 clear gun today, 1.3. Can I have a quick look at the air cap? What air cap is it? C2? C2? Give me a look at that. Yeah, C2. C2 1.3. Again, keep an eye out on the YouTube channel. We'll probably get a YouTube video up for this one in the coming week. Maybe this Friday. See how we go.
Suck that gut in. Pants falling down. Maybe just a little bit through here. Just see here. Maybe you touched it. Oh. Just give it a bit more. Yeah, that's okay. Keep moving. We can polish that out.
I don't know if it's just me. It seems like he's more confident with that DB1. Personally, I would say that the SATA CC was the better gun, but he seems more confident. I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but you like this one better or SATA? But you like the SATA better, yeah? But you did very well. It looks great. Are you happy? Are you happy? Yeah. Just check over it. What I like to do is just get your eye and make sure you're happy with all the edges. But I'm very happy with it. I reckon it looks awesome, man. And then the next thing we do, Shijun, next thing we do, we take this one off, just very careful, right? Okay. Just here. Only here, and here, and here. Not all the way down here. That's enough, that's enough. Yep. And then this one here. And this one here too. That just stops it bridging, and it would have there. I can see it would have bridged there. And sometimes what you can do, if it is extra thick, you can like wipe it with your finger. I'm usually wearing gloves when I do that, but that's alright. How's that? Nice and clean. That's good. Good edges, man. Very good. You can't see any primer in there because of the way we sprayed, and there's no big thick edge. Attention to detail, little things like that. The difference between a good painter and an average painter, if you ask me. That's really good, man. You'd have to be happy with that, yeah? Very happy. He's come a long way in the last 6 months, I tell you what. Clean too, yeah? Very clean. Yeah. Maybe you hit it with your shoulder, with your elbow. He must have hit something there. I reckon we'll cut that out. Even if it doesn't necessarily cut out, it's only that one little strip that we got to redo anyway. It's not that big of a deal. It's not even connected to the quarter panel, which is good. The Mazda 6s, they're a bit more of a nightmare. That'd be the whole quarter, and you'd have to do like down the bottom sill panel too, because they're all connected. But this job a bit easier. mate, I'm really impressed with him. So like I say, going forward, this is why I like to do videos on, like, the, you know, when I am in there training, because from here, he's just got to do it himself. Like, there's not much I really need to be there. And to be completely honest, I didn't even really need to be here for that. It was more just, yeah, something to do, I guess. We haven't got much work out there, so yeah, really happy with that. It's done very well. Nice, very nice. But a big part of it is the procedure that I've put into place. Yeah, a long shot from what these were originally coming out like. It's all in the candy. It's all about getting that candy thinned out correctly. Anyway guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you would like to support the show, be sure to go and check out the merch shop we've got. We've got links in the description. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out. So yeah, that's the gun there. Full fan. Oh no, hold on. He's wound that in a full turn. Okay, so he's wound his fan in a full turn, and fluid seems to be full, and he was rocking it at 2 bars. So there you go. DV1 C2 1.3. You want me to get a few photos? So since making this video, Shijun has left me and he's gone through the process of starting up his own workshop. So if you guys would like to get any work done by Shijun and you're in the southeast of Melbourne, I guess they call it. Either way, Mentone area. I'll leave some details how you can contact him down below. Anyway, until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Coming out. I'd like to say a big thanks to everyone for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel further, you're more than welcome to go over and check out some of the merchandise we've got. My personal favourite is those spray suits, so they're a good quality Colad branded spray suit with the Gunman logo on it. There's also hats, drink coolers, hoodies and t-shirts, so be sure to go over and check out the link in the description if you are interested.